So, yep. You already know what it is. Southpaw Talk with Southpaw Slick. And today's video is basically going to be a continuation of what I was talking about yesterday when I brought up the Keke Palmer and her baby dad, Darius Daulton. That's it. See, already forgot his fucking name. So we'll talk about it. The same guy that asked me the question about Adam 22 and Lena the Plug yesterday wanted me to talk about my thoughts on this Keke Palmer dress or whatever you want to call it at Usher's concert in Las Vegas. I wasn't going to talk about it because everybody and their damn mom's been talking about it literally all week last week, and I'm still seeing it this week too so far. Not as much, but I'm still seeing it. And the week before that, it was all about Fleece Johnson and him talking about booty, right? I swear, like social media is something else, right? But yeah, my thoughts on the Keke Palmer and Darius Daulton Usher dress thing, um, I actually ran across a post a few minutes before I started doing this video on Facebook. And it was basically a picture of a woman who was dressed scantily clad. And it said, oh, me wearing what I want. And then there was a dude in the back and it says, oh, my boyfriend, like, minding his business like he's supposed to, or like not supposed to say anything, like I can wear what I want. And of course, everybody in the comment section, I'm going to link that post in the description so you guys can see it. But my thoughts on the whole Keke Palmer, Darius Daulton thing, I think it's kind of stupid. Mostly with Darius Daulton posting something on Twitter about it, saying, "Oh, like why you dress like that? Like, oh, you're like you're a mom." Like you didn't have to put that online. So I do agree with that. That was unnecessary of him to address it online. If he had an issue with it, he should have FaceTimed her. He should have texted her, talked to her when she got home, whatever the case may be. But the thing that crossed my mind was, didn't you see her walk out the house before she went? Or did she just dip when he wasn't around? That's the thing I don't know. Hypothetically speaking, if he was there and he had an issue with it, he could have been like, nah, you ain't going out like that. I said, you're not going to disrespect me like that. But the problem with that is, if he's a bum like everybody says he is, like, he's basically a stay-at-home dad, she can easily come back with that, like, shit, I'll pay all the fucking bills, I could do whatever the hell I want to do. So, so that wouldn't work out. I'm saying if that's the case, that's what it seems to be. That's what it seems to be like, at least. He looks like a stay-at-home dad. Like a straight up bum, like, so he doesn't really have much weight to stand on. It's like, that's it. Now, Keke Palmer, yes, I want to say she was out of line for wearing that dress and hugging up on Usher and basically sexually enticing him. How she turned around and looked back. And I'll say that shit was crazy. That was out of line. But in her defense, she has worn clothes like that before, prior to getting with her baby father. Now I have to say baby father because supposedly they have broken up. I know that they unfollowed each other on social media, but last I heard, they're not together anymore either because of the situation. But yeah, it's wrong on both sides. But the way I look at it is, if a woman is dressing a certain way before you get with her, what makes you think she's going to stop dressing that way after you guys become an item? See, this is what I don't understand with certain men. If you don't want a woman to dress scantily clad, then don't pursue a woman like that. Unless you just want to have sex with her, but let her know that up front. But don't try to, establish a relationship and then try to change the individual afterwards. That shit never works. And I know a lot of women always say, well, she can do what the hell she want because they're not married. Oh, if they were married, then he can say something. Not necessarily. Look at Sierra and Russell Wilson a few months back, where she wore that fucking fishnet dress thing or whatever. And I was sitting there, everybody's Russell Wilson doesn't have a problem with it, so why should we have a problem with it? Which you do have a point with that. You do have a point with that. But the way I look at it is, at least during that time, is he doesn't have enough self-respect for himself, and it shows because he chose to wipe her up and knock her up a few times. So it's like, if he had the self-respect that he should have, he wouldn't be with Sierra in the first place. But Sierra, that's part of her image. She twerks, she's a sex symbol, so I get it. Keke Palmer, you can kind of throw her in that same boat, kind of. But yeah, I think it was out of line for Darius to address everything online. Even more so because Keke Palmer has been speaking very highly of him up until this point, about him being such a great man, a great boyfriend. He's such a great dad. She spoke very highly of him, especially on Father's Day. So she's definitely, or was, proud to be with her man, even though it didn't seem like that when she was on stage with Usher. Now, that's the thing I wanted to get to, was Usher. Usher didn't do anything wrong. He is known for serenading women during his shows. That's kind of his trademark thing, right? But with Usher, he represents something that Darius is not, and that's a man of high value, a man that is respected, a man that has money, and a man that has status. Everything that Darius does not have. Before, you had no issue putting up a video of your wife, your girlfriend, now baby mom, shaking her cheeks. You had no problem putting that on. He's the one that took the video. And you put that on social media for everyone to see. You had no problem with that. But once you saw a guy that was serious competition, you couldn't deal with it. That's what it ultimately is. It's not Keke wearing that dress, revealing her cheeks in a thong. It wasn't that. It's the fact that Usher was the target. That's what bothers him the most. That insecurity kicked in, and the people that did their research, their Twitter digging, which I like to call it when people find old tweets from back then. They found a tweet from, I think, 2019 or 2020 when he was talking about like how his insecurity gets the best of him or whatnot. That definitely didn't age well. That definitely didn't age well, because right now that's a perfect example of it. I'm saying that's why you felt some type of way. Now, me, myself, I'm not going to co-sign Keke Palmer wearing that shit like a lot of these women out here are doing. That's what I'm saying. It's insane how we justify fuckery in this day and age. And that post that I ran across that I was telling you about, which I will link in the description when I find it, it's the same thing all over again. Well, I can wear whatever the hell I want. Oh, my man can't tell me what to do. And then you have some guys throwing their capes on. Well, a man shouldn't tell a woman what to wear. She's just looking sexy. I'm like, come on, man. But once again, like I said, if you don't want a woman that dresses like that, and she dresses like that prior to talking to her, then don't pursue her on that level. Yes, I know that you find that sexually enticing, so just go for that. The way I look at it is, even if she's not a hoe, if she dresses like a hoe, I'm going to treat her accordingly. And I'm just going to look at her as a quick kill. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not going to look at that as a woman I want to wife up. Like I was talking about before with my Instagram crushes. A lot of them, the majority of them, dress like that, show their body off, be twerking in videos and all that. Those are women I would not wife at all. None of them. It doesn't matter how bad. And the thing about it, those be the baddest ones. Like, physically speaking, the body, the face, they be the baddest ones. But they're not wife material. At least that's not what they're showing. They could be, but that's not what you're delineating to the world. So the majority of us as men are not going to see you as a wife. That's why I said that's why there's only a select few that I actually see on Instagram that I would actually cuff, like K Green and Stuck Up Ya, because they don't do too much. Yeah, they might, like I said, they might show their body a little bit, but they're not doing too much. They ain't twerking and doing all this hoish type shit. So I'm saying, so they're still in the clear, whereas the majority of them are not. So that's why I'm going to look at them like that. And if I were to interact with them, if I saw them in person, that's the way I'm going to see them. Like, that's it. You're just a quick kill. Nothing more, nothing less. So that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Darius was out of line for addressing the shit online, and Keke Palmer was out of line for wearing that dress, hugging up on Usher, and sexually enticing him. Even if it didn't mean much. I'm saying that's what you're showing to the world or the people that were at the event. That's what I'm saying. It was out of line on both sides. But break's about to be over. Southpaw Slick. I'm out.